Scaremongering has hit almost every facet of our lives, at least of Ghanaians. Nonetheless, when stories about plastic food fill the news and onto the market, they understandably send shivers down the spine of many people. Well, from rice to eggs and now fish, controversy and debate rage over the authenticity of otherwise such reports. Well, Kwesi Debra is exploring how traders and consumers take news of one plastic food or the other displayed on the markets.
They are always pestering me with a rubber rice fin, she says. They refuse to buy when they aren't satisfied. Afra Kumar sells rice at the Kumasi Central Market. It was reported in December last year 2.5 tons of plastic rice has supposedly been seized in Nigeria. A few weeks later, after initial test, Nigerian Federal Ministry of Health stated there was no evidence of plastic rice in the country. Earlier this year, there were rumors of plastic rice in the Gambia and Ghana, but there was no confirmation. Public views on the matter vary. Some believe it is true.
Each and everyone wants to make money. Due to that, or to do away with poverty, we can be in our closet and manufacture anything of our own to make money.
Others beg to differ. I've never seen rubber rice before. It isn't true. Recently, video of bouncing rice has been circulating on social media, seeking to authenticate the plastic rice story. How can rice bounce like a tennis ball? Dr. Maxwell Asante is a rice breeder.
The rice grain is basically starch. It's up to about 90% starch. Okay, and this starch, we have two forms of starch, amylose and amylopectin. Okay, so for rice, the amylose content can range from 0 to about 30%, with the rest being amylopectin, meaning that amylopectin can be up to 100% or up to 70%. So if you have rice with amylose, which is around 30, that rice is very hard. It's high amylose. Okay, but in Ghana, the kind of rice we want is anything ranging from about 15 to about 22% amylose. If you have amylose content about 15 to 18, which is typical for the jasmine type of rice, that rice is soft and sometimes even sticky. But for the conventional US long grain with amylose content between 19 and 22, it's usually more fluffy. Okay, so but even if you have rice with amylose content lower than 15, it can be very sticky. So what was happening with the bouncing rice is that if you cook rice and it's sticky and you make it into a ball, okay, you squeeze it into a ball, and especially when you mix it with a little oil, so that it does not stick to the floor. Once it's sticky, if you hit it on the ground, it will bounce. So it's very natural.
That explanation will please hearts of rice lovers. Rice seller Afra Kumar may not be bothered about few clients walking away. However, at the fish section, commonly called Main Road, the hub for fish, Lydia is really bothered.
You can see it.
Video of plastic fish is all over on social media. Unlike the plastic rice, authorities are yet to debunk the sale of plastic fish in the country. A customer who used to buy cassava fish from her has stopped buying after seeing this video. Now Lydia has resorted to the sale of salmon and red fish. I don't go for the cassava fish anymore, she says. Clients still believe it's the fake one. Further investigation is required to prove the existence of rubber foods or otherwise on the market. Until then, these market women will someday be forced out of job. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Interesting story there. I was once called by a friend to come and have a look at rice he suspected to be plastic. And just like the expert was describing in that story, it turned out not to be plastic rice at all, real rice, just that was a bit sticky. Well, when you put it together, definitely it will bounce. Well, let's move on. Drivers and commuters in the Otida-Mankok-Basa Road in the Nkwanta North District of the Volta region, they've expressed dissatisfaction with work done on the stretch. According to the commuters, their lives are threatened each time they use the route, especially a section where rocks and gravel have been used to fill a gully to serve as an interim bridge. The construction firm in charge of the project, First Sky Group Limited, has however promised to rectify the defect on the route once the rainy season ends. Fred Kwame Asari now reports.
Sky Group Limited was awarded the contract to construct 12 kilometers out of the 62.3 kilometers Basa Otida Mango Road in the Nkwanta North District. The stretch forms Lot 4 of the Eastern Corridor Road. So far, only a little over 40% of work has been done on the road within 11 months. The site manager for First Sky Group Limited, Oliver Akwa, explains.
The 40.5% I initially indicated consists of the earthworks, which is building the road to formation, and then sub-base works. We have some concrete works, which is drains, which have been constructed along the entire stretch at the various built-up areas. And then we have also done some vehicular slabs, clearing and demolition works within the town sections. That has been done. So basically this is contributing to the 40%.
However, a recent occurrence got residents skeptical about the construction firm delivering a quality job. In the course of construction, a small culvert was constructed with an alternative route created for traffic diversion to pave way for an existing culvert to be reinforced to fit the scope of design for the road. However, a torrential rain in the area about a month ago washed away the culvert, which left travelers stranded at both sides of the road. This development frightened drivers and travelers, who compelled First Sky Group Limited to fill that portion with gravels and rocks to allow traffic flow. Nevertheless, some drivers on the road have expressed fear traveling on the interim gravel bridge.
We get frightened anytime we use the bridge. The bridge might cave in if a heavy-duty vehicle with loads travel on it. Truth be told, we are not happy with the state of the bridge. We will be glad if they can quickly reconstruct the bridge because our livelihoods depend on it. We want the contractor to speed up work on the road. We have made so many complaints about this particular stretch. We can't see the work the contractor is doing on the road. We want the contractor to do a good job on the road.
Speaking on the accusations, site manager Oliver Akwa indicated that they are constantly monitoring the situation to avert any misfortune. He assured construction will resume as soon as the rains subside.
So we are still monitoring it carefully, looking at when it will recede. When it recedes, we'll quickly move back, create a diversion as well for them to use, and then reconstruct it back for them. So there's no cause for alarm. They should just exercise patience with us. We'll put it back to track and they can have their road.
The stretch is a major road that connects the Volta region to the northern part of the country and serves as a major route for heavy-duty vehicles transporting food and other commodities.
Fire has completely razed down a sawmill at Agreso Estate, a suburb of Koforidua in the eastern region. The fire also destroyed property worth thousands of Ghana cedis. Correspondent Edwin Kofisian reports that the intervention of personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service and neighbors prevented the fire from spreading to nearby homes.
The fire, which is reported to have started around 4:30 a.m., touched the entire structure, which is mainly made of wood. The fire also destroyed several equipment, including over 5 heavy-duty sawmill machines, lumber of varying sizes, and furniture. It is unknown what could have sparked it, but some residents believe some combustible stored in the facility may have aided the spread. When Joy News visited the scene, personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service, led by the regional commander, had already arrived and were still trying to extinguish the fire. It took 3 fire tenders to completely douse it. Owner of the sawmill, Ben Bright, tells Joy News he was informed about the outbreak by workers after they noticed smoke billowing from the sawmill.
Unfortunately, at the dawn, between 4:30 and 5, these 2 boys who are living within that premises came out and knocked my door and said, "A fire. Master, there's a fire inside the workshop." I said, "Where come from the fire?" So I came out, and what I saw was a severe fire that we cannot do anything about it. So I rather rush and climb to the other side of the shop. So I got closer to where the main switch is. After I was able to put off the fire, we started to call upon the fire service.
Ben Bright laments he could not quantify his losses, though he admits his lifetime investment has been lost.
The stretcher and the machinery and the uncomputed products and the wood and other materials have lost all. So it's billions of things. I have planer, I have sawing, I have bandsaw, I have mortiser, I have sharpener, I have cross cuts, I have shooting, I have spindle molder. If you are a technical man and you are in the wood industry, you understand what I'm trying to say. Some of the items are meant for some people for refurbishing. That one. And aside that, some are new that I'm doing for others is other. All of these items is lost.
The Regional Fire Commander, Assistant Chief Fire Officer Joseph Ingwa, says the cause of the fire is not readily known. He, however, cautioned the public to be wary of materials that could easily trigger fire.
The investigation is still ongoing. As you saw us talking to the owner of the place, we need to establish so many things before we arrive at the cause. However, it is very an unfortunate thing, and we believe there are lessons that we all should learn. When you know our buildings are that of the Class A fire, that's wood, we should always take precautionary measures when we are leaving the place of work. Some are making sure everything is off. Any combustible material around should be kept off the place.
The severe power crisis between 2012 and 2015 resulted in a 10% fall in productivity. This is according to a survey conducted by the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research on 885 small and medium-scale enterprises. At a press conference held, or at a conference held at the University of Ghana, the researchers noted that various strategies adopted by these firms were ineffective in mitigating the negative impact of the experienced power outages on their businesses.
The study analyzed the impact of Ghana's 2012 to 2015 power crisis on the productivity of small and medium manufacturing firms. Dr. Charles Aka and Dr. Patrick Isumin presented the findings of the survey conducted in Kumasi, Accra, Sekondi Takrade, and Tema.
We can give you a sense. Of course, you can already look at 10% of output loss, or 10% of value-added loss. We came up with roughly about 200 Ghana cedi loss over the 4-year period of the book. So, but that's for these 885 firms in the manufacturing. There are about 99,000 of such firms manufacturing in the country. So if you want to get the overall national loss, you need to do some further estimating. Check to see. Want to get a figure for the 885 firms, the lost about 215 million over the 4 years of the boom.
The researchers also disclosed that the various coping strategies adopted by these SME firms were ineffective in mitigating the devastating effects of the crisis.
In 2015, about 60% of the firms reported that one of the key strategies they use is a generator. The second common strategy you see this particular bar is shifting their operation hours. Now, other strategies that are prominent include using less electricity, or less electricity intensive processes. So that if the production technology requires that they either use more electricity or use more manual labor, that means that they're going to shift from the use of electricity to manual processes. So we try to say, okay, when they adopt these strategies, the strategies work effectively. Were these strategies effective at mitigating the productivity losses that they were seeing? And in general, what we find is that none of the strategies were effective at fully mitigating the productivity losses. In particular, what we find is that for firms that actually use the generator, the productivity losses were even much worse than those who use other strategies.
Dr. Nida Asante from the Energy Commission recommended both private and government investment in power generation and distribution to ensure sustainability.
Now, in terms of responding to these things, therefore, there were some suggestions about what we need to do in terms of investing, in terms of improving reliability and so on. We've all heard about the very popular or unpopular ECG concession, which has that very same objective in mind, to attract investments into distribution, to improve reliability and to reduce losses. There may be other ways, but that's the one that has been chosen. There's certainly a lot of work going into ensuring that the financial solvency of the sector is restored. You've heard about the bond that is being sought. You've heard about power plants that are being built as we speak.
Maxwell Amofia for JoyNews.
Meanwhile, government says it expects stability in Ghana's power generation following a signing of a power purchase agreement with Equatorial Guinea. Under the deal, the Central African country will supply Ghana between 150 and 200 million standard cubic feet of natural gas daily. President Akufo-Addo, who brokered the deal during a visit to Equatorial Guinea, is optimistic the arrangement would also significantly bring down the cost of power generation and ultimately reduce tariffs for electricity. Addressing the media, the Energy Minister Boakye Jakun described as unsatisfactory the current management with Nigeria via the West Africa gas pipeline for the supply of natural gas.
The significance of this gas supply is on the stability or the stable state of power generation in our country. We have for some time relied on Nigeria for the supply of gas from Nigeria Gas transmitted by West African Pipeline Company. The performance of that arrangement has been very unsatisfactory. Out of the 120 million scarves we are supposed to receive on a daily basis, on the best of days, we receive only 30 million scarves, which had a very negative impact on our ability to generate power from gas as its fuel stock. The arrangements with Equatorial Guinea will bring in liquefied natural gas, which can be stored for 21 days and used accordingly. Properly delivered, this will allow Asogli, for example, to expand its power production from about 120 megawatts and scale up all the way to 580 megawatts. Gentlemen of press, This will, to a very large extent, stabilize further the electricity generation, transmission, and distribution situation that we have.
And that's it for the news.